What is going on, guys? This is Mr. DeLorean here. Welcome back to a brand new video, and today what I'm doing is reviewing episode 4 of season 10 of The Walking Dead. Now, this episode was really good and everything, and I really did enjoy like many of the aspects of it and everything, as you will see by like my review and everything. But make sure to stick around and everything, and yep, without further ado, let's hop right into the review. So first I'm gonna go over like, all the good stuff and everything in this episode, and I'm gonna go over the things I didn't like and everything. So let's hop right first into the good stuff. The opening minutes and everything were probably the best this season has had and everything, at least in my opinion. It was just so heartwarming and everything, and so well done and everything, especially with like, Daryl at the dinner table. I thought was really like, cute and cool. Also, when the tree crashed onto the hilltop, like, walls and everything, I thought that was just like so cool, and it was just such like a good cliffhanger to get like everyone excited and hyped for the episode. I liked Michonne and Ezekiel's interactions throughout this episode. I thought it was kind of odd, how he like at least like tried or like thought about killing himself. But I think the scene where, like Michonne found him and everything, and the whole kiss scene and everything was really cool. It was awkward, but at the same time, like, funny and cute and everything, especially how, like Michonne kind of talked to him about like, oh, we would have never worked or anything, and how Ezekiel said like, oh, in another universe, and then kind of nudging at the comics. I also really liked the talk they had and everything. Like I said, it was just a very fun, cute, kind of awkward scene. I actually really liked, the Negan, Lydia, and Daryl trio in this episode. It was very interesting and quite entertaining. I liked when Negan gave Lydia like, the little pep talk and everything while doing like, I guess the laundry or whatever, and how Daryl barged in and shut it down like immediately and everything. I like his talk with like Negan, how he's like, like, oh, if Lydia keeps talking to you, she's never gonna fit in or anything, stay away from her. The scene Daryl and Negan shared inside, like, Negan's jail cell, or at least in the room, was genuinely cool. Mainly because at first it was kind of like a genuine talk where Negan was like asking if Lydia was alright and everything, and Daryl was like, actually acting like genuine and everything, and not angry, how he's like, oh, yep, she's fine or anything. Which I'll get into, what happened to Lydia a little bit on, like, a little bit later. But then it escalated very quickly and everything. I forgot what Negan said and everything to Daryl to kind of, I guess you'd say, provoke him, but, Daryl went to his, like, whole talk and everything and speech to Negan about how you and me have never been toe-to-toe and everything in like a room and everything. You mean you have never been face-to-face or anything, and there's no one to save you right now. I thought that was really cool and everything, and badass, especially coming from Daryl's line, like, from Daryl and everything, how Negan kind of, smiled at him. The Lydia being bullied plotline was definitely an interesting one, especially when they kind of like, mocked her and everything with the bag over the head and everything near like kind of the windmill. But also, again, just some issues that I had with that, like, also a little bit later. I liked when Lydia went to the lunchroom and everything and literally cut open a fucking squirrel right in front of like, Gage, Marco, and this guy. It was funny when she splashed blood in Gage's face and how he acted like a little bitch. Like, I thought that was like really funny. It was also funny how Lydia smiled and did the like kind of silence the whispers type of thing towards Margot, since Lydia most likely knows it's Margot, Gage, and that other guy and everything doing the graffiti, the silence the whispers graffiti around Alexandria. Like, honestly, that scene was like really funny and everything, because like Lydia is such like a freaking cool character and everything, especially when she did kind of like the funny smile towards Margot. I thought that was like really funny. Now, the scene where Lydia is attacked and everything was very cool, but also very tense, because they all like teamed up and everything on Lydia and start like, they basically like got her first or anything and got her into a hold or anything, but then eventually they started punching her, holding her down and everything, which that was really cool and everything. Like, I really did like it, because it was one of those like moments of the episode that were like, you're always gonna go back to and watch, because it was just like such like a tense and like moment that you are gonna want to rewatch. Also, it was cool at the scene or anything, but was also weird is Gage, honestly, for a split second kind of looked like he really didn't want to be doing it and everything, and how he looked like, oh, this is a bit of a bad idea, and how I kind of don't really actually want to hit a girl. But obviously Lydia said something, I think it was like, oh, I loved Henry and everything, I didn't want anything to happen to like any of your friends or anything, but obviously then Gage punched her and everything and basically ruined that entire thing of like his whole, oh, I don't want to do this type look. But just once looking back and everything, Negan comes in, basically saves her and gets all of them away and everything, and pushes them all down, obviously, throws Margot against like the wall. But I'll get into that in a bit. Like, it was cool and everything when he punched, like, when he pushed all of them away and everything, and Gage was like, we were just trying to scare her, and I think he kind of did look a little sorry, or I'm not sure if he's just scared, probably scared. But it was revealed and everything that Negan did kill Margot, because he smashed her pretty much into the wall and everything, and she pretty much like burst her head open. That was really cool and everything, intense, especially because it's Negan who killed someone or anything. Negan, like, the person everyone's watching and is scared of, and pretty much like kind of wants dead. The scene where everyone was kind of crowding around Negan and everything once they found out that like Margot was killed and everything was really cool, intense, and pretty interesting, especially when everyone was chanting for Negan to die, and how Daryl tried to calm like Lydia down, because obviously Lydia knows that like Negan saved her and everything and did not mean to kill Margot and everything. And obviously everyone was chanting for Negan to die, but obviously Daryl basically said like, take Negan away and everything, which scared the fuck out of Lydia and everything, because she's like, no, he didn't do anything. But then you had Gage and that one guy come in and basically go like just say a bunch of dumb shit to her. But again, I'll get into that later. I also thought it was kind of funny how Negan like pretty much smiled when he got taken away, knowing that everyone was just kind of just stupid or anything for thinking and, you know, being morons. Also, Sadiq does have another PTSD episode in this, like, episode, I think, especially, like, it happens when, you know, everyone's chanting at Negan and all of them, are surrounding him, because obviously that kind of gives, like, flashbacks to him about, you know, how all the whispers surrounded him just before they executed people. And this also is the scene in episode where, you know, Sadiq runs into his house and everything, pours, like, a bowl of water into, you know, a bucket and some ice and everything, basically dunks his head into it and screams, which I thought was really, really, like, crazy and cool. But also, another thing I liked was Daryl being a father figure to, like, Lydia and everything. What I thought was just really, like, sweet and everything, because we get to, like, see a new side of Daryl, I think, where he actually has, like, a child to, like, you know, care for, like, especially, like, after she was attacked and everything, and Daryl was basically asking, like, you know, what happened and everything, and basically just hugged her and everything and talked to her through her tears. Like, that whole scene and just the whole episode where Daryl was just being a father figure to her and everything was just really sweet, and just, like, you know, just such a cool, interesting thing to see, especially with, you know, someone like Daryl, who's kind of, you know, serious and doesn't really have to take too much emotions. The trial for Negan's life and everything was pretty interesting, especially when, like, you know, Father Gabriel and everyone else were questioning Gage and, you know, that one guy, because obviously, you know, Gabriel's the only one in this episode who hasn't really made up his mind or anything about Negan's life. He does say in the episode, saying, I'll, like, you know, sleep on it and everything, and basically, like, you know, make my decision tomorrow. I also did think it's cool and everything when Gage and, you know, the guy left the room and everything, they all started debating, and Sadiq eventually, like, got up and basically said we shouldn't kill Negan and everything, because obviously, like, we're civilized now and everything. He basically, like, you know, defends Negan and basically says, nope, we should not kill him. I also thought it was cool when Daryl stepped into the room and everything and basically said Michonne wanted me to give her vote and everything to, like, whether Negan should die or live, and how Daryl basically said, you know, Lydia said, like, Negan didn't kill her on purpose, that he was actually saving her, and how Daryl pretty much said it's a no for me, we shouldn't kill Negan and everything because, you know, he actually saved her. I liked Michonne and Daryl's talk over the radio and everything during this episode, especially when, you know, Michonne brought up a point saying we need to keep Lydia alive and everything, because that's the only reason that Alpha isn't attacking, or at least that's kind of paraphrased of, you know, what Michonne said. But it was a very cool, interesting scene, just, you know, seeing them talk over the radio and everything. It was just, you know, just interesting. I like Negan's escape scene and everything, like, in this episode, especially how everyone reacted and immediately became paranoid, like, oh my god, Negan's out, especially when Gabriel and everything and Aaron are talking about it. I also did like, and I found it, like, very kind of a little funny and everything, which I don't think was supposed to be anything, but also pretty tense, when Gabriel came into, like, you know, Negan's cell and everything, and basically saw that he was out and basically put his like face up to the fucking, like, you know, jail cell. But yeah, I liked, you know, Gabriel and Aaron's talking anything about how Negan escaped and everything, and how Lydia basically, you know, walked down the stairs and basically confessed, I let Negan out, which I don't really feel she actually let Negan out or anything, but that's what she says. But I'll have a video about that soon, I think, about a theory that I have about that. The battle for the hilltop or anything, you know, when the tree collapses and all the walkers start coming for hilltop, everyone has to defend it. I thought that was cool and everything. It was definitely a little overwhelming, actually. The more I think about it, really overwhelming for what was shown in the trailers, but nonetheless and everything, it was a really cool, like, you know, like, whole battle and everything, especially with the walls collapsing. But probably the best part of that battle and everything, or that kind of defense thing, was probably when Michonne and, like, you know, Judith showed up and everything to, like, defend, because their whole thing where they were slashing and gashing the walkers and kind of smiling at each other was just really badass, funny, and just, you know, sweet, I guess. Also, this is kind of a small thing and everything, but I did like how they, like, you know, reintroduced or had a returning character. I forgot what his name was, but I think the last time I did see him was season, like, 8 maybe, or maybe season 9. I completely forgot what his name was and everything, but, you know, it's cool to see him return. The thing that did make me laugh about his return, though, is how it doesn't really look like he even aged, like, at all. Also, the ending with the Silence the Whispers graffiti and anything all over the walls is really cool and everything, especially that final shot where the music started to get very tense, especially when Daryl, you know, was, like, wiping down his door, but then there was revealed to be a lot more graffiti. Moving on to the things I did not like about this episode. Gage and the other bullies and everything were pretty annoying in my opinion, especially when Margot and that other nameless jackass, like, you know, started, like, picking on her. Especially Margot and, like, you know, that other guy. Like, I don't know why, but they're just annoying. I still like the whole, like, mocking and jumping Lydia scene and everything, but, you know, like, let's break it down kind of. Like, okay, Gage is, like, a teen and everything, so it seems pretty justifiable for him to, you know, be, like, a bit of, like, you know, a child or anything and, you know, bully and, you know, jump Lydia. But the other two kind of look like adults, which is just weird and just immature that they're adults and they're jumping pretty much a child. I don't know, it's just weird that also Gage is friends with two other adults. I don't know. Like, maybe they share the interest of not liking the Whispers. I don't know. Also, Margot was just a whiny bitch, in my opinion. Also, the other nameless jackass or anything was just, I don't know, I thought his acting was kind of really mediocre and everything, especially when he was chanting that Negan should die and stuff like that. He was just pretty annoying and they didn't really focus on him too much, and he was just kind of like in the background going, oh my god, you killed Margot and everything, Negan should die. Like, it just seemed just lifeless in my opinion. And like I said, the battle at Hilltop was really underwhelming, but I did like the wall collapsing. I thought that was like really cool. It's just like the small things that and I think that are really like epic and really cool. I also did like, obviously, like I said before, anything the Michonne and Judith thing, but when they did like a panning shot when, you know, Luke, Connie, Kelly, Magma, and Yumiko, and anything first went out to go defend, for some unknown reason they did a panning shot on all of them and everything, and they all did like these like epic, like, you know, Marvel superhero type poses and everything. I thought that was really weird, cheesy, and I really didn't like it because they all just like posed and everything with their weapons, like, oh yeah, we're badass or anything, and it was just cheesy in my opinion. Also, in the opening, when we first encountered Judith and Michonne and everything on the road on the chariot, Judith was acting a lot more adult and everything than she really is supposed to be, which I thought was like, you know, it's pretty okay, and it's not too much of an annoyance. Like, I really liked Judith's character and everything, but the entire chariot scene, I was just like, why does Judith know everything about the Whispers and just everything, like, especially like, you know, what happened at the border meeting and everything? And it was kind of weird how, like, you know, like Michonne's just going along with it. She's just like, oh, okay, you know all this stuff and everything, I'm just gonna talk to you about it and everything. Like, Michonne's just like okay with it. She's just like, oh, you know, well, yeah, I'll talk to you about like serious adult stuff and murder, which I don't really blame the actors and everything. I more so blame the writing, which, like, besides that chariot scene and everything else is good with them inside this episode, especially, like I said, the defending Hilltop. So it was just that kind of like, you know, opening scene with them that I didn't like, but other than that, like I said, all good. And that was my review of episode 4 of season 10 of The Walking Dead. I hope you guys did enjoy this review and everything. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and anything for more Walking Dead content and everything. Make sure to, you know, like the video and everything. Make sure to leave a review, especially if you're listening on iTunes. And yep, I'll see you guys later. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and everything. And yep, I'll see you guys later. Peace, my amigos, and peace out.